Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good hunting, and welcome to this special Halloween madness that is the Charlie Marx Show. I am the ghost of Charlie Marx, and Halloween being my favorite time of the year must say so much about me. Yes, it's true that the 31st of October is by far the greatest day and night ever created. By some pagans back in the days when a cell was not a form of communication but a place where women who showed any aptitude or strength were kept until they were taken to be drowned or burned at the stake as witches. As stakes became expensive, they decided to try and drown the so-called witches at the stake, but this turned out to be a complete waste of time. A quick reminder to please like, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications, and follow the Charlie Marx Show. Also, please share, as sharing is daring. You can also leave me a comment, or why not join the show by telling me what's bugging you in the world with the Devil's Advocate. I can also be spied upon by you visiting www.charliemarx.co.uk. You can also buy me a free coffee or get 1 billion people to subscribe, and the coffee will be nice. Coming up on tonight's show, we have all the latest fake, horrible news from around the world and beyond from the CM Newsroom. Moans and groans and things that go bump in the night with the Devil's Advocate, plus lots more. But first, let's go and get another spooky classic album review. Welcome to reviewing of albums, such. This is the Halloween special, obviously. So we're going to start off with a surprise entry. As in fact, both the albums I'm reviewing today are a surprise entry because I just got them handed to me. So this one here is Ade Schlepperman, and it's When Life Gives You Lemons, Invade Poland. Now, Ade, he enjoys all kinds of work, obviously, and he does a lot of stuff in the studio. This is made by Struggle Records, and Struggle Records are a small independent company who, I would say, they're probably not really that popular with minorities, to be honest with you. And they do struggle with minorities, that's why they're called Struggle Records. On this album, he does Goose Step Blues, which is a very, very bluesy track, kind of rocky bluesy track, in the style of really nobody I've ever heard before. So it's completely original style. He's a one-man band. He does all the musical instruments himself when he's in the studio. So when he's live on stage, he plays everything at the same time, which makes him run about the stage an awful lot. And it has been said that possibly for his live shows, he could bring the instruments closer together, because sometimes there are gaps in the songs. Same in the recording studio, actually. It's an original type of heavy metal, this album, and it does, yeah. It's not as heavy as some albums, but it's quite heavy. Now he's popular, very popular with mums and dads, funnily enough. And deaf children. He's very popular with deaf children, but he's also popular with skinheads, which is remarkable because usually they just like punk. They're not really interested in the lyrics. I mean, he does a couple of cover versions, but he changes the names. He does ABBA's Dancing Queen, but he's renamed it If You're a Dancing Queen, You Will Be Shot. So, you know, other things like he does... you know, other songs like Rocket Man, which is a very interesting cover, the Elton John song. But you hear him swearing quite a lot in this, so be careful. It has a parental advisory sticker on it, because when he found out Elton John was gay, and he only found that out when he was recording it, you know, funnily enough. But yeah, I would say quite a good album. Seems to like his yellow and he keeps himself in trim. Worth going to see live. Not sure about the album, whether it's going to be a classic or not, but we'll see. The next album is one of my favourites. It's Vladdy Putin. Vlad, You Made It. This album, which I'll stick these albums up on the screen to let you see what they're like. But this is an excellent album. It's Putting All My Love Into You, which is a kind of Kiss styled song, quite good in the guitar. Rushing Around, I'm Gonna Nuke You With My Love Rocket. That's another Kiss kind of feel to it, you know, the innuendo sort of 70s rock. Fixing the Elections, which got to number 1 in the charts, and as far as I'm aware, it didn't even enter the charts. So, Playing My Trump Card, Even My Daughter Hates Me. That's a ballad. It's very nice, actually, done with a flute and the bagpipes. The Green Green Grass of Everyone Else's Country. That is more traditionally, I would say, kind of salsa, which is an interesting political song, but yeah. Kremlin Up to Your Window, another ballad. He quite likes his ballads. And Thanks for the Memories. That is quite an informative song. It explains a lot about different tanks that he has in the past used. Now, if you buy this album, some versions of this album, this is a special edition album, and if you buy this, you get bonus tracks. Some of them are excellent. Stalin Love With You, which is a beautiful ballad. It's done with the Russian orchestra. Those of them that were still allowed to play. And another one is Moscow to the Party. That's a kind of 60s revival, kind of beat bop sort of song. And finally, Trotsky Down the Road, which is, do you know how Queen sometimes did songs that were so out with what anybody thought songs would be? Well, this is that song. Trotsky Down the Road is a kind of, I would say, Seaside Rendezvous, this Queen song from A Night at the Opera. So, yes, it seems to be that he has stolen some ideas. In fact, pretty much all the ideas he's stolen. But anyway, this is available in shops probably yesterday. So, enjoy. And that was the album reviews, so you can see what you think about that. Okay. Right, so, see you next time. Oh, mother, the voice! And more album reviews next time. Now, before we move on to more horrific madness, it's time to get all the latest news, horrific news, from around the world and beyond with CM News. Good evening and welcome to CM News with me, the Nun. Our top story this evening. Crowned Prince of Darkness Satan McCormick has publicly condemned the Labour Party for making it difficult for him to be the bad guy. Satan is suing Sir Keith Stammer in excess of £500 for breach of copyright on evil things done by a leader. Sir Keith Stammer hit back at Mr. McCormick, saying that it was unfair as Mr. McCormick had more access to lawyers where he lived. The case continues. And staying with politics, confusion erupted in the House of Commons as an argument broke out between Nigel Farage of Reform and Rachel Reeves when she mistakenly thought Nigel Farage called her a witch. Reviewing the AR, Speaker of the House of Commons, Lindsay Hotel, cleared the matter up by pointing out that Mr. Farage had not called her a witch, but a bitch. Everyone laughed and they all went back to sleep. In the States now, and a group of mothers concerned with the messages portrayed in rock albums lost their court battle against Oasis. The mothers group Mums Against Crap Music argued that there were subliminal messages in the band's music, which made their children want to speak with a Manchester accent. Judge Damon Blur stated that it was impossible to determine just what the band was saying, but did add that when the music was played backwards, it sounded better. The ghost of Beethoven has been spotted in a queue in Marks and Spencer, and just by luck, renowned psychic Flora Margarine was also in the queue. Shoppers were stunned to see the ghost and pressurized Miss Margarine to communicate with him. But sadly, his reply to all the psychics' questions were, "Sorry?" And finally, the most popular Halloween costumes for adult males was revealed in a poll by the French government. And not surprisingly, illegal refugee came out top. And that was the latest headlines. This is the Nun for CM News. Good night. Thank you, Nun. More from the CM Newsroom next time. Now it's time to go to a spokesman for the Labour Party, Liam Neeson, for his party speech.
Today I am delivering a speech to the Kingdom of United about the growing concern on illegal refugees travelling to this country. You must listen to me, as the next part is very important. They're going to come and they're going to take you shopping for things you don't want. I say this to the refugees travelling here on boats. If you are caught, I will think about connecting my car battery to parts of your bodies that you use for doing pee-pees. You will have two choices. You can either give me what I need, or this switch will stay on until they turn the power off for lack of payment on the bill. Or you can hand over your duty-free. Now, you refugees don't remember me. We spoke on the phone 2 days ago. I told you I would find you. It wasn't difficult. All I had to do was look for 300 men in a dinghy. You think you're going to come here and work illegally in sub-office? But that's what happens when you sit behind a desk. You forget things. Like the weight in the hand of a stapler that's loaded and one that's not. If I try and stop all the refugees, others will come and seek revenge. Then I will ignore them too, or perhaps I will just let them into the country to drain us dry. Finally, and this is very important, I don't know who you are. I don't know what you want. If you're looking for benefits, I can tell you the government doesn't have any money. But what I do have are a particular set of skills. Skills I have acquired over a very long career. Skills that make me a nightmare for people like you. If you stop coming over in dinghies, that'll be the end of it. I will not look for you. I will not pursue you. But if you don't, I will look for you. I will find you. And I will do nothing about it.
Not cobwebs, the dog is molting. Well, that's surely going to work out nicely. Now it's time for another roundup of moans and groans and things that go irk in the night with the Devil's Advocate. 'Tis the season to be frightened, but are we getting our money's worth when paying exorbitant prices at the cinema when watching horror movies? Are we being frightened the way we used to be? I recall one night my friend Stephen and myself went to a midnight showing of The Exorcist, and he laughed all the way through it. I did tell him that he shouldn't have watched the Leslie Nielsen movie Repossessed earlier that afternoon, but he did anyway. We, as a group of idiots who want to spend money to see nothing through hands which are firmly in front of our eyes, want more. But most horror movies just don't give us the chills we want. Sure, the gory effects are better, but they become so predictable. We know that there will always be a fake fright at the beginning of the movie, and we also know the characters which are going to be brutally slaughtered off first. It used to be the black guy or the big mouth or the dope smoker that was for the offing. But now, thanks to political correctness, these characters seem to either survive or are done in much later in the movie. Nobody has yet figured out that vacationing in a cabin in the middle of a forest is not a good idea, or that if a relative leaves you a mansion in their will, then it's more than likely to be haunted. Nobody guesses that in these mansions there are always secret passages that will lead to a dungeon of horrors as opposed to a nicely decorated jacuzzi room. And whilst in these haunted houses, what would possess anyone to go and get something out of the fridge no matter how hungry they are? You may have noticed that ghosts and spirits never haunt a one-bedroom council flat in Glasgow, nor do Ouija boards spell out the winning horse to run at Doncaster. Are we now programmed not to be scared anymore because we know that people like Ed and Lorraine Warren were fakes? Revelations now show that all the haunted houses were nothing but money-seeking residents who want a quick way to make a buck. We now know that seances are the particular hobby of pensioners who want to supplement their pension by contacting something who would much rather be left alone, just so they can pay for their winter bills. When you look at the state of the world today, then it becomes apparent that if you want to be horrified or scared out of your mind, then producers should show clips from Parliament or Congress in movie theatres. The truth is more frightening, believe me. So in summing up, if you really want to be scared beyond your wits, then I will happily show you my bank statement. That gives me nightmares. Thank you for watching the Charlie Marx Show, and remember to like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, share and follow me on www.charliemarx.co.uk. You can also buy me a coffee and join the channel for more and so much more. So until next time, if you're not subscribed to the Charlie Marx Show, then boo!